Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
Hey, this is Ari in the Air, back with another paraglider review. This time, it's for the Uturn Blackout Plus. It's one of the most trusted, most popular, most accomplished acro gliders on the market, and I absolutely love it. Yes! Oh my god, it feels so good. I'm flying the 21 meter, and I picked that size because, well, I don't live in Organa, I don't live in Iquique, I train over the dirt here in Oregon, and so if I have too small of a glider, I never get a train because I can't get any altitude. I'm also relatively a beginner to acro, and so I picked up the 21 and thought that would be a good blend of what I could get good altitude on, as well as what would be big enough to be forgiving for me as I learn all kinds of new maneuvers. I want to talk about a misconception that I had in my own mind as I went to this glider. The thing that I had heard was you learn acro on a B glider, then you get a freestyle glider, and then finally you move up to an acro glider. I think that if you want to learn acro, your best bet is to do a fair amount in the beginning on an E and B glider. Something easy, something that you can get altitude on. But when you become more of an advanced pilot and you make the educated decision that it is time for you to step into acro, and you're going to do tows, you're going to travel to where you can have lots of altitude like Organa and Lake Garda, I don't think you have to have a freestyle glider, and in fact I think the freestyle gliders are harder to learn on. I think that the freestyle gliders have a higher aspect ratio and have higher glide performance and these kind of things, and I think that the multifaceted aspect to a freestyle glider actually makes it harder to learn dedicated acro stuff on. It's not to say you can't. I learned my first stalls, my first helis, a lot of maneuvers on a freestyle 3, and they're great, don't get me wrong. But I think that the myth of that you have to step to a freestyle glider before you step to an acro glider, I think that comes from history. Back in the day when acro gliders were first coming out, I think they were a huge handful to fly, but nowadays it seems that the Blackout Plus is very safe, it's very easy to fly, it is not a bladey wing, it has a relatively low aspect ratio, it's very forgiving in all kinds of maneuvers. So I think that if you want to learn acro, find yourself a mentor, do a bunch of stalls on your E and B glider, keep a lot of altitude, but then when you're ready to dedicate to gliders specifically for acro, I don't necessarily think that you have to go to a freestyle glider. One of the best parts of this glider is the colors. These things are just meant to be eye-catching and fun and playful, and that's exactly how the glider flies. It has long lines, a great pendulum, it holds energy really well, and what that feels like is that it flies very fast, it's very responsive, it is so incredibly precise. You can put this thing on a dime, especially flying close to the ground, you can really tell how precise this thing actually is. I would say that this glider is the gold standard for construction quality, strength, durability. If you look at the way the leading edge is put together on this thing, it seems like this thing is just made for military grade use. The fabric is thick and strong. The glider is a heavy one. It's over 6 kilos for the size that I have, and that's just a testament to how much material goes into reinforcing this thing. I would just say that this glider is just easy. It's easy to learn on. Even though it's fast, even though it's relatively small, it's just easy acro learning. The heli point, the deep stall characteristics, all really predictable. It's exactly what you're looking for if you're trying to learn acro. The only con that I would say is the stock brake toggle doesn't suit me very well. I think that the diameter of the handle is a little too small, and also it seems a little cheap. It's a plastic handle that's threaded onto this, and one day I was kiting and it just came undone and the brake handle fell apart, and I was left without a brake handle and had to go walk up and down the hill trying to find it. So I think at the very least, increase the diameter of the handle, as well as just put some Loctite on the threads so that they don't come off. Anywho, thanks to Shane and Team Fly Halo for sending me the glider and letting me test it. Great job to the Uturn team, Ernst Strobel and the crew out there. I know this thing gets tested by some really talented acro pilots, and I know they put a lot of time and effort into making this thing exactly what it is. So cheers and kudos to you guys. Looking forward to the next iteration and can't wait to fly the Joker.